Hey guys, thanks for watching today. Thanks for tuning in to today's talk thingy. I don't know what we're calling it yet. We're just discussing some nerd stuff together, okay? Just bear with me. I'm a little bit sick, a little bit under the weather today, so I'm sorry in advance. Also, still figuring out mic volume. We're having some strange issues with it, so I apologize again. Because I know last episode, my mic was too quiet. At least that's the feedback that I received. And in this episode, I tried to dial it up. Hopefully it's better. Hopefully I didn't over dial it so it's too loud. Either way, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy today's episode with Swankley.
Because Captain America doesn't represent the United States.
I'm pretty confident to say that he is stronger and more powerful than Captain America.
Will he walk away alive, or will he perish in the Sentry's wake?
Well, for the purpose of today, you recall last time we spoke about the Sentry, we kind of talked about how we kind of feel like everybody's just going to get absolutely clapped by Sentry. That's probably true. Okay? Just hands down. But I wanted to think that maybe there's a possibility or a version of these characters that could do something against the Sentry, right? Because he is literally... I wanted to take these characters that are going to be in the Thunderbolts movie and just kind of take a look at their comic book counterparts and just see if maybe there's even like an inkling of a chance that they could put up a fight against the Sentry, because he's just so powerful. Right. And so today I wanted to take a look at U.S. Agent.
What's with all the knives?
Yeah. Good character.
Great character. Do you know much about U.S. Agent?
Yeah, he's a bad guy.
Kind of actually. Kind of not though.
He's not a hero. How about that?
He is the best way to describe U.S. Agent / John Walker is he has tried very hard in his life to model himself after Captain America to be better than Captain America. The problem is he doesn't have the same morals, and he often doesn't have the same respect for other people that Steve Rogers Captain America has.
Yes. Yep.
So
sounds about right.
Yeah.
He's like Captain America with imposter syndrome.
A little bit. Especially when, you tend to have a lot of imposter type syndromes, especially when you take the mantle of the person that you're trying to become and literally for a time become Captain America, which is kind of wild.
The show. Yeah.
Well, not only in the show, he does it in the comics.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting because, right, he's John Walker, is a military dude. Just kind of spent his time in the military, became very, very successful at what he did. And then when he got out of the military, he was actually approached by the power broker, who, if people don't know really about the power broker is like an entity that does lots of science-y-esque experiments, lots of, espionage, kind of in the background type character and group of characters. But he's approached by them to be like, hey, we can turn you into a superhero. And he's like, of course I want to be a superhero. Who doesn't? And they essentially turn him into Captain America with a super soldier-esque serum, along with some of his buddies, actually. That's something I learned the other day. It was him and like 3 or 4 of his buddies from the military. And they all just kind of got super soldiers, which is kind of cool. But what really kind of impressed me about John Walker's U.S. agent is I'm pretty confident to say that he is stronger and more powerful than Captain America, at least in comics, in a lot of the comic books.
Yeah, because this usually, if this is how the writer goes, the serum is supposed to be enhancing the user
Yes.
from where they're at. And so, as you know, Captain America was a very weak, scrawny person.
Yes.
And it enhances all of the physical attributes.
Yeah.
So, John Walker's already, like, insanely strong.
Yeah.
As, like, a normal human. Like, he was just, I don't know, top 1%. Probably.
He probably was
right?
top 1% of of human beings to begin with. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, you add that serum on top of it. I would say, yeah, in a lot of instances, yeah, he would and should be stronger than Cap physically. Yeah. Morally, he's probably more evil because of it, right?
Definitely. I mean, he kind of gets a little bit of an ego. The first time you actually see John Walker in comics is as the Super Patriot is his name.
Yes.
And literally that character just calls out Captain America for being not American enough. And just constantly is like throwing Captain America under the bus. He takes his buddies and says, "Hey, buddies, go destroy some things as Captain America aficionados, and then he'll come and save the day," kind of stuff. He does a little like all that weird stuff to just to be like, "No, I'm better than Captain America. He doesn't stand up for America. I do." Super.
I understand that a little bit, because Captain America doesn't represent the United States government. He represents the morals, the freedom, the patriotism, everyone being like nice to each other, kind of like that hype what the American dream should be.
Yes.
And that's why the government kind of hunts him down half the time. Right? Captain America.
Very true, because
he's like, no, you're corrupt and wrong.
Yeah.
And then the U.S. agent is the other part. Only the morals of the government, the corruptness that it could be. So.
Yeah. But yeah, he definitely tries to be a quote unquote better Captain America in a lot of comics. That he's just like, yeah, no, it's me. Question for you, Thomas. Do you know how much you can bench? How much can you bench right now? You go to the gym almost every day, right?
Yeah, I don't bench because I go alone at night, so I don't want
die.
to die.
Okay, that's fair. But when you do bench, what would you, or at least when you do consistently bench, what's like that PR that you've hit?
It's not that much, 145.
145? Hey, that's more than I can do, so I'll give it to you. Guess how much John Walker has stated in comics that he can bench?
It's going to be, let's see, his ego is a thing, so 2 tons.
John Walker himself has stated during a fight with Hawkeye that he can bench press 10 tons.
Bro, what the heck? Can the serum do that?
So,
I don't think so.
Quite possibly, and I will say, like, the comics do kind of show that at least he has some of that ability, right? Bro has been able to like punch through vehicles. He can lift vehicles with zero effort. At times, he'll flip characters that are much stronger, much heavier, much bigger than him, just over his shoulder. Just throw him on the ground.
Oh yeah, okay.
So he's definitely got some prowess there. I don't know if 10 tons is the right number, right? He's a little bit, he's got a little bit of an ego for sure, but I just thought that was a very interesting kind of thing that he has said about himself, and it's shown. It's shown that he's that strong.
He is really strong. Maybe not, right? Yeah. But that also goes to show his ego.
a little bit,
Right.
definitely.
So maybe it shows both sides.
And
Thought.
it is definitely a thought, but I guess in our little thought experiment of John Walker being at least somewhat able to fight the Sentry, I know our version of John Walker is very different in the MCU than what we get from the comics. He's definitely not nearly as strong as Captain America. At least he hasn't been portrayed as much yet.
Right.
But he's only been in one project, so they could flesh out his character a little bit more.
Yeah.
If somebody can throw a punch with the strength of 10 tons, do you think the Sentry is going to take that hit, or is it just going to bounce off his body?
I'm trying to think. So we're talking about movie U.S. Agent, and okay, theoretically, if he could do the 10-ton bit, no. If they do the Sentry right, no.
I mean,
Dude,
okay,
caught Bucky's arm in the trailer.
that's true.
What
That's
is
true.
Bucky is like, I don't know how good the Russian serum is technically compared to the American, but I assume Bucky's like almost stronger than him, maybe.
In our MCU comparison, 100%. I would say probably like within that, just as a brief strength lineup,
Yeah,
probably
I
Red
think
Guardian is probably the strongest
all of them,
out of all of them, and then it would be Bucky, and then it would be Walker. That would be my guess.
Now, if I guess we don't know. They might prove that Walker's the strongest.
They might, and I mean it could be Bucky. Bucky could be the strongest. Technically, in the comics, Bucky is not a super soldier.
Right,
He's just a dude with a metal arm. So our Bucky is a little bit different, but
okay.
yeah, I don't know. John Walker, I think, has, because we haven't seen him in enough like actual media, they have the opportunity to make him a very formidable like character in this movie. I think, just based off of his comic books past and the fact that we haven't seen too much of him, but what we have seen has been a little bit frightening.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit, which is just kind of funny. Also, as I was doing some research, you remember the question that we had? I think it was while we were watching the trailer. Might have been in the last Sentry video. I don't remember. His shield gets folded.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's actually canonical. In the comics, his shield is made of vibranium, but is often depicted as not as strong and not as durable as Captain America's shield. So there you go.
Like an alloy.
It's often like an iron steel vibranium alloy, which is very interesting.
They probably will talk about it and how that's what the government provided or something.
It's all the government had, like you were saying, they just like salvage something, steal a little bit of vibranium from Wakanda, make them a little pissed off.
Do that, bro?
I don't know, because you're the U.S. government. You don't like to be given things.
Maybe that is all they had or something, and they'll give it to them because they have to. Because the lady, I think her name is Victoria Hand.
Yeah, Victoria. Yeah,
she'll have to provide that shield and stroke his ego a little.
Just a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. Those are the two quick things that I want to just say about how John Walker might have a chance to throw hands with the Sentry. No one's winning. No one's beating that character. If they do, then something's wrong.
Okay. Question.
Yeah.
That we could end on if you want. Will he walk away alive, or will he perish in the Sentry's wake?
I truly believe that John Walker will walk away alive and better than he was before the fight with the Sentry. And here is why.
Okay, yep.
I believe that the MCU needs a John Walker character to head up a Dark Avengers, aka Thunderbolts type crew that doesn't have a morality like Steve Rogers or Bucky Barnes.
Yep.
I think they need a character that is morally gray, but is extremely powerful and does have a little bit of, I'm doing this for the right reason.
Right. Which is not morally right.
No, it's definitely not. But I think in the sense of like the Thunderbolts type cast, I know technically Bucky's putting this group of people together. At least that's what it's kind of depicted in the trailers. But John Walker, because he doesn't have that moral obligation to do everything correctly, I think he's able to take his abilities and get more done in the shady kind of way that U.S. governments and, shadow agencies like to do at so many points. And I think a crew like that could be very interesting to have in the MCU, especially as we move forward into new stories with new characters.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Well, I'm excited for the movie, so.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be a good time. So anyway, that's all I wanted to share with you. Last thing before we hop off. Thomas, I have a question for you.
Okay.
What's the worst movie in the world?
Tombstone, of course.
Let's go, baby. Never seen it. Never will. Thanks for watching. Oh, yeah. And don't forget to hit the buttons, please. They're right here. Just, I think right here. I don't know. Just press the buttons, please. It helps a lot. And I like seeing the number go up. It's a lot of fun.